So I've got a little bit of video footage while it's quiet around here. That's the town over there. That's obviously the church. I'll push around so you get a better angle with the countryside in the background. Last flowers of summer. Yeah, a lot of nice old architecture. The people are proper sound as well. Just to save me saying it later while I'm thinking about it, kind of what's happened with England now is when you go into the big towns and cities, you don't really see what English culture's about. You have to come out to the countryside, and that's the same as when you go abroad, isn't it? If you go to Thailand or India, the big cities aren't really the culture. You have to go out. So this is Wirksworth Museum. Very sort of Wicker Man in here, isn't it? Oh yeah, of course. Anne Boleyn. I wasn't even looking for that. Anne Boleyn. What a joke. Anyway, don't want to get dragged into that. It's so annoying. Yeah, there you go. Antlers head. What is it? Demon headdress. So there's street life here. So you've got Open Anchor pub there. Just missed it. First ambulance of the day. But yeah, one good thing with being such a wet summer, most of the flowers and leaves are still kind of as they would be back in June sort of time, really. So hopefully we get a late summer. And pretty much it done for Wirksworth today. But I just thought I'd finish on this nice, lovely image with a church and that hill in the background there to call it a day on. We got a bus? Nah. Yeah, that's it. Obviously put the photos and all that on later. Cheers. Yeah, right, all. So obviously I was up to Wirksworth yesterday, as it was market day being on a Tuesday. The main points I want to get to before I forget is back when I started this project back in 2018, around September 2018 I visited Wirksworth for the first time, and I remember photographing the Black's Head pub and thinking that will have to get changed. I guarantee it'll get changed with the way the world's going, and lo and behold, here I am in 2023 and it got renamed back in 2020 courtesy of Black Lives Matter kicking off into the Quarryman as it's known now, which is very relevant to the history around the area because of all the mining. But again, it's just another part of our culture we've had to tailor to facilitate these people that are coming here, and that's not on. You know, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but this is our country, our culture, and we should maintain it and preserve it instead of scrubbing it all away and changing it to meet people's requirements. It's just not on. Same can be said for the Italian restaurant that's there now. Italians, they don't bother me, fine, more than happy with them coming here, but the cafe was originally called Mercia Brunch, and obviously Wirksworth, Derbyshire, was part of Mercia once upon a time, you know, the old Saxon kingdoms, and again, it's just another part of our culture that's kind of been scrubbed away to meet others. Talking about Wirksworth, probably one of the best places I've visited, mainly because of the people. What I was talking about when I was walking around in the church graveyard area about getting out into the countryside and away from the cities, there is some truth in that, because if you go to, say, Bangkok in Thailand, and if you walk around there, you don't really see Thai culture. You see this hedonistic global culture that we've got now. Fair enough, the people are Thai, the language, etc., but in order to really see traditional Thailand culture, you'd have to go out into the farmlands, I guess. And it's the same in any country, isn't it? If you go to America, you're going to see more of the traditional way of living out in the countryside. If you go into the big cities now, it's all touristy sort of natured, isn't it? And particularly with England nowadays, a lot of big towns and cities are turning into decaying dystopian hellholes. So little towns like Wirksworth, they're a real breath of fresh air. It was quite bizarre to go from the Dudley area on the Monday and then to somewhere like Wirksworth on a Tuesday. Just two totally different areas. I enjoyed my time around the West Midlands, but yeah, I'm a bit tired of going into shitholes now. Although going into shitholes is a bit like swimming in the ocean. I find it's always waiting to get bitten, and there's an element of excitement with that. Always waiting for some retard to come and have a go at me, or something for carrying a camera. Importantly, I come across this cashless freedom sign, and that's what is it? Cashless freedom, use it or lose it. And it's all about the sort of central bank digital currency that's on the way. And I'll just read out some of the points I've got on there, just in case it's too difficult to read when I upload a video. But cashless society will mean no saving for a rainy day, no selling unwanted items for cash, no tipping waiters or hairdressers, no car boot sales or markets, no fivers for the grandchildren, no coins for the homeless or buskers, no tooth fairy or piggy banks, no financial privacy, and much more. Everything will be digital, all money will be dependent on the internet, vulnerable to cyber attacks, power cuts and technical failures. All your money transactions will be monitored and controlled by the state. Access to your money can be cut off by banks and government, as seen recently in Canada and Australia. My also additional points to that. You can argue with some points. So no saving for a rainy day can be argued with. Well, you can save up in your bank, can't you, using the digital currency? You can still tip people, really, because you can tip it digitally. It's not quite the same, but you sort of can do. Car boot sales and markets, you can still do that, because obviously people take card and cash. But yeah, again, no fivers for grandchildren. You could do a bank transaction, but it's just not the same, is it? Obviously, I always remember my grandma used to give me a tenner here and there, and it's really nice. And I used to have a piggy bank. The kids even have piggy banks these days. I think that kind of stuff's like long gone, isn't it? I'm just playing devil's advocate. I took a photograph of it because I agree with we need to keep cash. I think it should be permanent that we keep cash and we keep contactless as well. It's your choice, but we shouldn't be losing one, and particularly when we were never asked. And as usual, you just have to ask, who's it benefiting? The government can already see what you think, and courtesy of social media, and can track you courtesy of your iPhones. For anyone who doesn't believe that, there's a good long podcast about the Essex Boys. Tony Tucker, Pat Tate, and all that saga. And the police were actually tapping into their mobile phones back in the 90s to keep them under surveillance. So you imagine what it can do in today's day and age with iPhones. But yeah, certainly some of the really good points there about cyber attacks, power cuts, your money, technical failures. If we went completely digital, then the whole system would go down, wouldn't it? But then again, that's just part of this big kind of web that we're all caught up in, isn't it? But yeah, it was great to see, and it seems in a lot of small towns. When I was in Paley Bridge, which is in North Yorkshire, September last year, I think I was there for the Nidderdale show, and I saw they were warning about keeping cash alive. So certainly the small towns are going to be hard for the elites to kind of really. They've failed already because they can't possibly destroy them places. Even if it flooded the area with migrants, I don't think that would work anyway, but if it did, that would destroy the demographics of it, but there's still like a close-knit community there, and people are getting fed up with now, so maybe there'll be a pushback, but all the old architecture's there. You can still tell it's a traditional English-looking community in a lot of these smaller towns and cities. There's no big monstrous buildings, so generally it's safe for the time being. But that's it. Cheers.